I the story I wrote today was actually on a subject that I think is enormously important, um, and it's something. It's a big challenge to Jews and Judaism right now. It's the issue of people from all over the world, literally millions, tens of millions of people who are connecting to Judaism, and I guess they fall into two and a half categories. By that I mean there's the people who discover that they either are genealogically Jews or genealogically connected to Judaism, though they may not necessarily fall into the halachic definition of what a Jew is. And I think that that's precisely the problem. Personal identity is an incredibly complicated thing, and it's never black or white, even if the person is black or white. So, unfortunately, Judaism has been treating Jewish identity that way. The question is, the question seems to begin and end with, is your mother Jewish? And I think that it is an incredible injustice to such an incredibly important issue. Rav Salam is amazing. He's a Haredi rabbi, and he says no. There's a thing called Zera Yisrael, which is even though the person isn't technically halachically a Jew, they are genealogically connected to Judaism. They have a piece of Jew in them. It's amazing. The Pizetzner Rebbe, he said that when you look at a person who is descended from Jews, a Jew, when you look at that person, you have to realize you're actually looking at a physical piece of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. It's how would you treat them? How would you see them? And I think that when you see a person who is descended from Jews, you have to be looking at them partially as a brother. That's enormous. That's one category. Another category is a person who may not be aware or may not even have a connection to Jews genealogically to Judaism. To be honest, though, I can't tell you how many times a person has walked up to me and said, "Well, I'm not Jewish, but my mother was Jewish." Astounding. It happens all the time. But even if the person doesn't have a connection to Judaism in that manner, there's a spiritual awakening going on, where so many people, so many Christians are seeking their Jewish roots. And I don't think that it's because Judaism is so amazing. I mean, it is. But it's not like saying we won, we were right. At all. That's not at all what it means. I think there's an awakening going on in the world, and Judaism is the vessel for that. It's an expression of something very deep in people, where they see Israel, and it's very much connected to Israel, this awakening, where they see Israel as an expression of God's will, of God's covenant, and its eternal aspect, and how it doesn't go away. And I think that's what they're connecting to. Which, if that's true, we have to come up with new categories, I think. I've heard people say Gentile is something very specific. I'm not aware of that. I'm not. I think that there is a place for categorizing some aspect of people. You can't say a person is that, but you can say that there's a part of that person which is something. You can't say a person is a Jew, but you can say that person is Jewish. They have a part of them that's Jewish. That person may not be Jewish, but there's a part of them that is very much connecting to something that we have in common. I think this is an awakening. And it's happening from so many different directions in so many different manners. And it is very much connected to the reappearance of Israel. That is messianic. Even Jews who object to the term Messianic. I'm sorry. This is part of what our rabbis and our heritage and tradition describes as part of the Messiah, the reappearance of Israel, and you're looking at it. I think that's what we're seeing, undeniably. And other things accompany that. Some of those things are reawakening in other nations, which is why the temple, which will appear in the Messiah, is going to be a house of prayer for all nations. At the same time, of course, I think there's an awakening of the other side, where people are choosing the other side specifically, going to extreme measures to deny this. That's also there, and I think it just proves how powerful this historical period is and what we're going through. That was a lot. I'm sorry if it was a bit confused. Thank you very much for listening. Have a wonderful day.